house of random, I wouldn't say useless, but just random stuff.
And you're going to Chili's to sit down with the fam, and a goddamn robot pulls up and tries to serve you. You're like, excuse me. I'd like to be a gallon of milk that expires, maybe the 23rd, the 24th, instead of, maybe the 15th, the 16th. You know what I'm saying?
What is up, everybody? Welcome if you're new, or welcome if you're new. Welcome back if you're, old. My name would be Evan. You can call me E, Ev, Red, Captain Redbeard, Big Red Bastard, Red Rob Zombie. Fuck. Ritz's son, Ritz Jr., if one would. Hey, we go by a whole bunch of names. But what is up, everybody? We are admittedly a little late. So today is Monday itself at fucking... Oh, good thing I had checked, because now I'm going to set my... set a little timer here so I don't forget. So we're a little late. It is already Monday at a little after 9. So I didn't work Saturday. Had a fun time Saturday. Hung out with the Baba Booies. We'll get into it later. But then yesterday I just wasn't feeling it after I got off work. I didn't even get off work late, off like my usual time. But I was like, I'd rather just stream. I don't really feel like recording an episode right now. And I had today and tomorrow off. I was like, I'll just record it Monday, upload it Monday. No big deal. Yeah, well, we'll get into it, but went ham on the stream, so I ended up not recording and going to bed really, really, really early in the morning, or late, whatever you want to phrase it. So then I slept all day, basically. So I didn't get out of bed till like 6:30 or so, roughly. But I'd been setting alarms frequently since like fucking 3. So I'm just an L get out of better. So that's why tonight's episode is being recorded so late and then being uploaded on Tuesday. But I guess the benefit of this is, less time in between this week's and next week's episode. So there's that to look forward to, because this will be uploaded on Tuesday. So, and we'll probably record, if not, no, not Saturday, because we'll get fucked up Saturday. So I'll record Sunday, upload Monday. So we're mish on the schedule. We're figuring stuff out. We're tweaking stuff. But yeah. What is up, everybody? We're here in the stew, doing it all over again. Like I said, today is Monday. So this previous week, it was pretty average, nothing too crazy. I'm gonna go to a temp agency tomorrow and try and get like some temp work, something figured out. Because yeah, I don't want to spoil anything, but there's a little bit of rumblings, a little bit of talks amongst certain gamers of everyone's like, man, I kind of want to put in my 2 weeks. So there might be a little bit of a wave of energy in that department moving. So yeah, I'm really just gonna look into the temp agency, try and find something, and really just go from there. I haven't really trapped out any of the clothes yet, like I was talking about, I think, in previous episodes, about like selling clothes and stuff like that. Haven't done that yet because I've been fucking sleeping in till 6:30 at night on like my days off. But we will get tapped into that. We will do that tomorrow. I'm gonna go to a temp agency. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Not really much this happened this week, other than, as the title of the episode that you clicked on, we are... makes me a little sad, but we are officially at the end of this run that we've been doing, the Tattour, if you will. Friday the 7th, we got the last piece, which again, I don't really know the angles of this, how good or bad it will show up, but we got our last piece of the Tattour, just a dope like 3-faced king dude just a nice little filler right here. Initially we're like, all right, let's do it. Fill up this space right here, like this area roughly. And I knew I was like, this is gonna be fucking spicy, bro. There's like the fold of your arms, your elbows, like the back of like fold of your legs, armpits. Fucking ugh, people tattoo their armpits. That's crazy. There's just some spicy spots. There's spicy spots, and I knew going into it that this was gonna be a spicy spot. It's like, fuck, dude, getting a piece right on here. Like, I did the the E special. Did not eat before it at all. I even went out of my way and bought. I was gripless. I brought fucking Cliff bars, like protein bars, specifically to eat. Like, wake up early to eat them, then have something in my stomach before I'm going in to get the tattoo. Because I knew, I was like, at the time I was like, fuck, it's gonna be right here. So that's gonna be spicy. We're gonna need to eat before that because that's gonna be intense. Of course, did the E special, did not eat at all. Woke up decently. We were on time and everything, but I just I wasn't hungry like I thought I would be because I know already that when I'm not hungry till like a few hours after waking up. So I knew that's why I intentionally was like, all right, let's go wake up like a couple hours early because the appointment's at like noon. So I woke up like a little after 10 because I figured that give me enough time to like cultivate the hunger if one would, get a little grumbly in the tumbly, and then eat something, eat the protein bars that I had bought. But nope, woke up around that time, was not hungry whatsoever. In fact, I didn't get hungry until like halfway through the tattoo, which is kind of funny. Bad timing, but I got really fucking hungry. Anyway, so I get there on time. It's at noon, and initially, like I said, we're gonna put it right here. But then we were looking at just the flowetry of it, and we're just like, because we weren't hard set on doing it right here. It was just a suggestion. Last time I got the most recent piece. So when I got this dude last time in the shop, we're like, all right, let's do some pattern, some design, maybe around here. Then she posted on her Insta story this design, and I've loved it. I've seen her post about it before. I've loved it. I think it looks fucking sick. So I was like, I'd love to do something like that, or just something about like I was like, that shit's fire. And then she mentioned like, well, we could do that for your next piece or whatever. So I was like, all right, bet. Lock me in, chief. Let's do it. So we are in the shop, placing, looking around, and it didn't seem to fit right there. And then we're looking at this arm, and initially we're thinking like maybe a smaller size of it on the top right here. And then we're looking around. I was like, well, what about this space right here in the arm? And then we looked at it and placed it. Like, yeah, no, that's it. The way the beard goes into here, the face, like it was just perfect, and it fills up this part of my arm. And it wasn't until I was getting it done that I was like, or I think it was afterwards I was talking and I was like, yeah, it's crazy to think, and it's kind of poetic to like wrap up the tattooer of this long string of me getting a piece every single month. I thought it was only fitting to get a piece down here because I haven't gotten a piece down in this section other than obviously this right here, which overlays here and down here. But I haven't gotten like a forearm tattoo since the blade and this dude. This dude was first. This dude was November of 23. I got this dude. And then January of 24, I got this guy. Or no. Oh my fuck. Nope, I'm totally wrong. January of 22 for this. Or November 22 for this. This is why I write shit down. November of 22 for this dude. January of 2023 for this guy. Fuck, yeah, I've had this piece like a year and a half now. Damn. But I haven't gotten a piece on this part of my arm pretty much since January of last year. So I was like, it's kind of poetic getting a lower arm tattoo because initially we're going to try and fill out this arm, but just the placement. I was like, you're the artist too. Like, because I always tell her going into it, especially when we look at more like placement stuff. I'm like, especially like my legs and just stuff that I wouldn't normally see, or more of like the perspective of the viewer is more important necessarily than myself, my own perspective. So like, I just tell her that like whatever looks good when somebody's looking at it, let's do that, and I think we've clearly done that. I think we've clearly done that. Because, yeah, I mean, half of this is also so that other people can see it as well, like not only just me. So I want to make sure it looks good for both parties, you know? And it's not like, I don't think we've done any wonky placement or anything like that. So, yeah, anyway, this is the first or last piece that I've gotten in this area. First one in a long time. And this one wraps up the Tattour. So, yeah, it seems only fitting because, I mean, it was because of this job that I was getting tattoos, like the money to be able to get tattoos. And I'm at the point where I'm transitioning out of this job, looking to something else. The finances, obviously, first and foremost, the finances are in question throughout this transition. Also, the scheduling and availability, you know, because as much as I'd want to, I think it'd be tough to like get a new job and then within a certain close time of that being like, yeah, I need to take time off for this, that, and the third, whatever. So that was another aspect of it. And then also I think I said it a few episodes ago, a couple weeks, maybe a couple months ago, but I had a list of stuff that I knew I wanted to get along the way. And then along the way as well, there's a lot of shit that I saw that I just thought was cool. So about probably halfway, maybe a little over halfway, maybe, of the Tattour, that's when I kind of ran out of ideas that I had been thinking of for a while or had written down, and we're just kind of freestyling it, for lack of a better term. So there was a good portion of this. I think I love all my pieces, and some of my favorite pieces are the ones that we kind of just thought of on the spot. Like, first and foremost, one of my favorite pieces, my big old fucking dragon on my leg. Like, the color and saturation, everything. It's been 3 months now. Like, it's been 3 months. This thing is awesome. And I never thought that I'd have something like this on my body. Not even leading up to it before. I was like, damn, what's going to be there? I don't even know. We'll find out. So, like, I love this piece. My other leg piece, I mean, I'm just biased. I think my legs got a lot of great pieces on them. I love all my pieces, but fuck, the color and just... No, my legs are fucking sick. I love my leg pieces. But yeah, I got this, like, half monster, half woman face thing that I've seen before. And I thought, that'd be fucking cool. Let's do something like that. And then, Sarah did Sriracha style, made it sick as hell. So yeah, I had intentional ones. Like, I knew I wanted to get the Eagle Scout commemoration tattoo. I knew I wanted to get, like, the forearm blade. I knew I wanted to get the sigil of Baphomet. The Steve-O one definitely was inspired for a while of him having Santa on the cross. I thought that was mad funny. So I was like, fuck, what if we did, like, a clown, like what's his face from that one, it's like that one liquor store in California. So yeah, there's pieces that I knew I wanted to get, commemoration pieces, but then there's also just freestyles, like the elbow swirlies and the fucking kitties. I didn't plan on getting the kitties, but I love how the kitties came out. So yeah, that's another big part of it as well, is like, I myself am just at a point where I'm feeling like I'm good. Because for a while leading up to, and I said for this leg piece in March, that's when I finally started feeling like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I got tattoos, As dumb as it may sound, like, yeah, no shit, Ev, like, you're covered in shit. Like, oh, that's what it takes to feel tattooed. It's a weird thing to tell you, or like a weird thing to explain to somebody, but I genuinely, even having a lot of other pieces, I still didn't feel like I had that many tattoos. And then it wasn't until getting a big ass tattoo, I was like, fuck, dude, I got tattoos. But no, that's really what did open it. I said before, looking at the footage that Sarah had recorded of her in the crowd of us at the tattoo convention, and I'm up at the judges table showing them off this piece, the different angles, I was like, oh, fuck, dude, like, I'm tatted, like, my arms, others, like, it's dumb, I know. He's known for his 5-head takes, but yeah, genuinely, it wasn't up until about a couple months ago that I felt like, I was like, damn, no, I'm fucking tattooed, Like, now I walk around the house, I'm just like in my boxers and slides and shit, and I catch myself in the hallway mirror. I'm like, damn, bro, you got a lot of shit going on. Because you really do. It does seem paradoxical, and I didn't understand it until I myself started getting tattooed. But it really does become like regular schmegula, like you don't even really notice it at some point. Like, don't get me wrong, when I was first getting tattooed, it's the only thing I've ever thought about or was very consciously thought of when I first was getting tattooed. But like right now, as it stands, the only ones, I've said it before, like the first tattoos I see when I wake up usually are my leg tattoos, the moth and the TV. Other than that, I don't really necessarily notice. It's like, oh yeah, I'm just fucking doing whatever. I know it sounds weird, and you're like, how the fuck could you be putting shit on you and then not even realize or like not even see it? But I swear, it's like at a certain point, I guess because the repetition, you're just used to seeing yourself like this every day. I know for some people, them being tattooed is the form of themselves that they thought of anyway. So I know for certain people, the way they are tattooed is how they felt they looked to begin with or wanted to look to begin with. I'm not necessarily in that camp. I just knew I wanted to get tattoos. But now, as a person who is heavily tattooed, yeah, I don't really notice it all that much in my day to day. And also, I mean, obviously helps that I'm usually wearing like long sleeves, or I'm not just like looking at myself 24/7. But it won't be until like little glances in the mirror and passing or whatever the fuck. I'm like, oh shit, yeah. Or like seeing pictures. A real checkpoint was showing somebody a picture a few years ago, or something like that. And I didn't have any work or hardly any work. And I was like, damn, dude, that's kind of trippy to think about in the span of this amount of time. That feels like it's been a while, but it hasn't been that long. Like, we look completely different, And I love it. I've been having a great time. And it's interesting because I was thinking earlier today, it's like, because I know there's certain people, the image of tattoos or people being tattooed is already cool because they know somebody who's tattooed. Like, they're either their parents or someone around them or somebody at school or whatever the fuck. Like, usually, from what I understand, other people or like the people I've talked to, their attraction to tattoos or acceptance or whatever with it was just because they were exposed to it a lot growing up or exposed to it, whatever. And it's like, oh yeah, it's just tattoos, right? I was scratching my brain trying to think. I'm like, I can't really pinpoint where or why, like what made me want to get tattoos or what made me look at tattoos and think that they were like cool or something that I'd want to do. Because there's nobody in my life, not even like friends or family or anything like that, especially growing up or anything, that had tattoos. So it wasn't like you had the cool uncle and he's got a couple like his sleeves done, or you grew up with dad and his shit's he's tatted, or mom's got a little something. Like, my mom did get tattooed and had tattoos when she was younger, but she got them removed and like taken away and shit. So I was never exposed to that. I had a fucking Mormon step family growing up that would half the time they're spent raised here with us. So I didn't have any real exposure to tattoos, but seeing somebody who is tattooed, it's like, they look cool. I didn't think of it as like, oh, they're scary or intimidating. It was like, that shit looks cool. And then, it was just something I knew that I'd do eventually. But then honestly, I forgot about it. Like, as dumb as it may sound, not really having money and like really doing much through my teens and my earlier 20s, I forgot about a lot of cool, fun shit that you could do when you did have money. Because I talked about in previous episodes, but like when I was in high school from like 14 to probably 18, or maybe like 13 to 18, I was just really, or like 13 to 17, I was just very, I mean, I feel like generally boys can be just angsty and like fuck everything. But I really did hate growing up where I grew up because it still is like this. I'm just older and have more access to it. But we live in like a pseudo college town essentially. So if you're not an adult, like if you're at least not 18, there's not a lot of shit to do. And if the shit that there is to do, it requires money. So it's not like you can really run laps at the mall. I mean, we have a mall, still have a mall, but running laps at the mall, not buying shit and like getting food at the food court, that was like middle school shit. That's what you did when you were like fucking 11, 12. But by the time you hit high school, motherfuckers smoking weed and shit. Like, it's a next level thing, and you're just bored as fuck. And you're like, all right, well, what are we gonna go do? And it's hot as fuck most of the time here. So there's just a lot. It was a combination of a lot of shit. Also, my mental health not being the best. And especially when I was younger and growing up and all the hormones and everything developing. So I think I said it before, but I was kind of just like a horse with blinders. And I just kind of forgot that a lot of shit, there's like shit to do out there essentially. So then the pandemic, I was working whatever, minimum wage jobs, restaurant, food service, right? And I was making enough money like getting weed and shit like that, but I didn't save anything up and I didn't have any think of really doing shit. And at the time, especially I didn't really have a big friend group, so it's not like I'm going out all the time and doing crazy shit. So I didn't really spend my money on much, or I probably did. I just blew it on stupid shit like food, weed, right? But then the pandemic hit right before I turned 21. And from then until now, I mean, obviously the pandemic hit everybody differently, but yeah, being 21, going through that bullshit, it definitely tweaked a lot of like the social behavior of drinking and of going out and all that. Because I didn't go out to my first bar. Fuck. I didn't go to my first bar till I was probably 22 or 23. And it wasn't, part of it was lack of finances from not really working because of the pandemic, but then also like shit just wasn't open. Like it just going to a bar just wasn't a thing. So I know there's plenty of other people my age that like, I feel like we kind of miss that part of life, similar to how like my sister, her graduating high school year was 2020. So her graduation was us doing a fucking world's saddest, smallest violin, basically U-turn in the small parking lot in like the north of the school, and all the teachers wearing masks and shit are just waving, standing in the parking lot. Principal, you roll down the window, the principal's like, here you go, congratulations. Fucking drive out. That was her graduation. She didn't, to this day, there's no fucking the pomp and circumstance, fuck, even the shit that I had of like the ceremony and the promotion thing and the fucking woo-ha and the night of graduation, all that. She didn't have any of that shit, right? So it hit everybody, obviously. But I feel like being at that point of 20 to 21 and then that happening, it really shut shit down for me. And my mental health really wasn't the best. So I really was just staying home, not really doing shit. And it wasn't until I got this job in late 22 of September of 2022 because of my sister working there previously. You know, it's not the degrees you make, but the hands you shake type beat that what to gets you around here. So I got the job that I'm even currently working now because of her, and it wasn't until like a month or so of working there where I realized like, oh fuck, I'm making, especially for E at the time, I'm making good fucking money, but I'm making fucking after taxes, we're making north of like 10 an hour. I'm working like at least 30 hours a week. I get paid every week, so my paycheck's looking like 300 to 400 a week, right? So that was when I was like, oh fuck, because the first piece I ever got, the moth, was a birthday present from my mom. Shout out ma. It was a gift from her, and it was my first piece, and that was a week before my 23rd birthday. Yeah, 22. Yeah, so it was a week before my 23rd birthday in 22. So this piece was bought and paid for by her, and then I didn't get my next piece till almost to the day, calendarically 6 months later, in late October, right before Halloween. And then I got this dude. November got this dude. Didn't get. I'm still fucking kind of punching my fist in the air that I did not get a piece. It was just because I was new to it, and for whatever reason, I'm like, oh, it's the Christmas season. Nobody tattoos in Christmas. Everybody, it's Christmas. People are so busy for that. As if I didn't get a fucking tattoo in Thanksgiving, like in the month of Thanksgiving, a week after Thanksgiving, not even like I don't know what I was thinking, but I wish I got a piece in December of 22 because I've said it before and I'll say it again. Had we done that, it would have been every single month from October of 22 until now, June of 2024. So that'd be fucking cool if I did that, but I didn't. So we just gotta fucking always add that little technicality. Well, yeah, every month since January of 23 till now, June of 24, we've gotten a piece, and it's been really fun. It was a great escape from work, especially when shit in my personal life and my work life like just got heavy. That was a great escape. And yeah, I feel like it's for a lot of reasons previously yapped about. A lot of things have come together where it's like, you know what? I'm okay with this being the last piece right now. I feel like this era that I'm in, like I'm good at closing the book on this, so to speak. Not to say, and I do plan on getting another piece later this year, but that piece is going to be E in a different point. E in 3 months from now, I'm going to be talking about I don't even know what. That's going to be a completely different dude. So fuck, I might fuck around and get like a Halloween flash piece later this year, and we'll see where E's at. And I told Sarah that it's like I can't wait to thank you for everything you've done. Thank you for all, like, you're dope, and thank you, basically. And I can't wait to update you a little bit from now and be like, this is what I'm doing, this is what's happening. Because other than friends and family, Sarah was also somebody that was really in my corner when she ultimately really, not to say that friends and family are obligated to, but she genuinely didn't know me from fucking Jack. And even she early on was like, dude, you're dope. Like, she was one of the reasons why I got back on the podcast this year, because I felt like a piece of shit not doing my content last year, and I had a lot of personal shit going on last year. So like, she's a part of the reason why I even was so into doing this and got the momentum and the energy to start doing this and doing this kind of stuff. So not to say that friends or family or people that you're around are obligated to be your hype man anyway, but she genuinely just didn't have to, and she was always so supportive and was always like, come on, man, get on your shit, you can do this, in the same way that my family says it, which in a way it feels even more powerful from her, because she's saying exactly what my family's saying. Like, I guess it just confirms that, like, I do have the potential to be doing what I need to be doing, because here's somebody that genuinely doesn't even know me, and they're telling me the same shit that my family's been telling me, So that's what also hit, and I'm like, all right, we gotta, for everybody, for the sake of everybody, not just me, family, friends, everybody, I gotta get on my shit, because I'm a dope dude, and I know I can be doing dope dude things. So I feel like it's a good pin in this chapter of my life. And I look at my tattoos and I don't think about them of each section of working, and I don't look at them and think of like, oh, my job that I did, which is also nice, because part of me was feeling, when I was going through it, I was like, damn, dude, well, what if some of these pieces I just associate with them from work or whatever, but that's the complete opposite. Like, even though each tattoo was an escape from work and was like a therapy session, I don't look at it within the capsule of like, oh, that was June's piece, and this is what's going on. Blah, blah, blah. If anything, it's like the reverse, where it's like, oh yeah, this dope ass piece. Oh, I remember that. Like my fucking Trad Tiger, I got this bitch in September, and then I went to the Suicide Boys concert in Gray Day for 23 in October. So like, I think about how I had this piece in like the Suicide Boys concert. I don't know why I can't say that word. The SB concert. So like, yeah, I don't look back at my pieces and think of like the little time capsules in each part of the tattooer. But then I look at my phone, I'm like, I'm glad I documented this shit. I'm glad I have the date and what the piece is and everything, because people are asking, and my friends, like, I'll get into it, but we were playing bowling, and the buddies were like, dude, this is a sick piece. Like, how much was this? Because, they're trying to get pieces, or they're maybe want to get a piece, whatever the fuck. I'm like, dude, this is why I write shit down. Like, this is how much it was. This is. So it's been fun. I've had a really great time, and I feel like I'm ready to, like I said, close this chapter of the book. I'm ready to put a pin in it, because, yeah, not until I'm later in life and I have other shit. Because that was the other thing, too, with the ink amnesia, where I don't know if it is because I'm getting older or if I was just more of a crackhead or whatever, but these past few pieces have just been really hurting. Well, not really hurting, but it's just been, yeah, I don't know. I'm just like, I still love getting tattooed, and I still do plan on getting tattooed, but now I'm at a point where it's like, fuck, this shit hurts. And we're doing so I'm just feeling, because before I was like, bro, the first few ones, immediately after I got them, I was like, I cannot wait to get another tattoo. When can we get another tattoo? Like, I was B2B, belt to bones, trying to get pieces in the beginning, because that shit was just so much fun. And then, we started spreading out and going different places. But yeah, this one, the overall review of it, of scale of 1 to 10, solid 5. There were parts that were more towards the fold of the arm and down here towards the elbow that were a lot more spicy. But then she was like filling out parts of the beard, didn't even feel it. I'm like, is she hitting right now? And then I'd see her lift up and like go dip again. I was like, oh, she is hitting it right now. Oh fuck, all right, cool. So yeah, overall, saw him like 5 out of 10. Wasn't too bad, and I can see why I started with my forearms as my first main pieces, because for me personally, forearms not that fucking bad. Of all the places I've gotten tattooed, forearms easiest section. Overall, forearms 4 out of 10. Now you go up north a little bit, hit the bows. Ooh, those boys are clocking in at a solid 8, 8.5. The legs, oh my god, around the shins, fuck me, that's a solid 8. Like, there's some spicy spots. Thighs, that was easy street. Fuck. My calves, I'll never forget. I believe it was, it was my desert piece, my desert commemorative piece, whatever you want to call it. I was yapping so much that I didn't realize when she was done, and she's so sweet. It like she didn't want to just be the guy to be like, shut the fuck up, we're done. Which is what you need to do. If you're with me and I'm yapping, don't be the person to like not say anything, because I will keep talking. You gotta, sometimes E gets a little too passionate. You gotta be like, okay, bud, calm down there, bud. We get it there, pal. You're kind of yapping, bud. So she was, for a little bit, she was too nice to like say something. I'm just fucking, because I believe I was talking to somebody in the shop that was in the shop with us at the time. So I'm just fucking yapping. And then I remember she's like, yeah, you're done, E. We're done. I'm like, huh? What? And she's like, we're done. The piece is done. And I look back, done. I'm like, oh, shit. Cool. So, yeah, different places. And obviously it's different for everybody. But I knew the folds were going to be spicy. My chest was spicy. But yeah, I'm going to wait until we have more of an idea of tattoos or something we want to get. Because now I'm at the point where, like, not, I said I forgot this shit hurts, but I'm like, yeah, this shit fucking hurts. So, like, the pain transfer, whatever, like, I want it to be something worth it. You know, when I was younger and wasn't getting tattooed or didn't really have a concept of tattoos, I was like, yeah, I'd probably have some, like, stupid, shitty tattoos, like, whatever the fuck. Like, the concept of it, I was like, whatever, because I didn't know anything about it. But now, and I've said before, now when I look at people's tattoos, the first thing I think of, especially with the placement, I was like, how painful is that? Probably it'll be 1A and 1B, like, wow, that's either like a beautiful piece or that's a crazy piece, whatever. And then 1B immediately after that is, holy fuck, that must have hurt so bad. So before previous E, I was like, oh, sees a shitty tattoo or like a Mimi tattoo, whatever. I'm like, whatever, who cares? But now that I've been under the needle and like been getting tatted, I'm like, you sat there and got for that fucking long? Oh my god. Like a recent one has been going viral. Buddy has his whole throat right here tatted. And it almost looks kind of like graffiti done, but it's basically like a brick wall as the background. And then in bubble letters, sack chaser. Even fucking worse. Not even, it was supposed to be like he's chasing money or whatever the fuck, and then have like a little money bag underneath. Motherfucker had sack chaser tatted on his fucking throat. First of all, crazy ass piece. Second of all, crazy ass placement. This motherfucker really sat here for I don't even know how long. They fucking all for Buddy to get sack chaser tatted, and then the whole internet fucking meme him about it. Oh, fuck, bud. Young E, I'd be like, oh, that's a shitty tattoo. Would I get it myself? Nah, I'm good. And like, even I remember telling myself before, I'm like, you know what? I'll probably, if anything, I'll save my back for shitty pieces, because then I don't have to see them, so I'm not that depressed. But everywhere else, like, you know, I'll care more about. But now, as somebody who's been tatted all over their body, fuck no, I'm not getting, unless it's like, I don't know. I've seen motherfuckers do like a drawing of their kid that the kid did or something like that, and getting that exactly tatted. That's one thing, but nah, I'm too grown. I'm too old to be laying down on this table, on an insert table, and have some motherfucker put some Mimi shit on my back, and then I have to, and then, because the thing I didn't realize, not only is it the pain, initially it's the pain, but then afterwards the aftercare. So the annoying thing afterwards, depending on the piece and the placement and everything, like for me personally, getting a back piece, I'll have to switch the way I sleep, depending on where it's at. Because, like, I'm a natural, I sleep either on my back or on my sides natively. So if I get, like, a big-ass back piece, right, I'm going to have to start either laying on my sides like I do, or start laying on my stomach, which is not something I'm really used to or accustomed to. So it's like, all right, if this thing is gonna be potentially fucking up my sleep or fucking up how I'm gonna be doing this for a little bit while it like heals and everything, this motherfucker's gonna be worth it. We're not gonna put no Mimi bullshit. We're gonna put some shit on here that's worth it. Okay, even fuck it. Even if I can't see it with my own eyes, it'll look fucking cool. I'm going through the pain of it. I'm going through whatever afterwards for it. Like, it's gonna be worth it. So I'm no longer in the camp of like, yeah, fuck it, I'll get a shitty little whatever. Because now I'm like, damn, bro, the pain, the time, the placement. Ugh. There's a lot of shit behind tattoos that I didn't know or think of before getting tattooed, and learned along the way of like, oh yeah, no, fuck. Yeah, no, I'm good on doing that. Yeah, no, I'm good on that. Even if it's like for free skis or like really cheap, like just don't want to do that. Because now, especially as somebody who's been tattooed, and I think I have a really, really good collection of tattoos, I'd be disappointed in myself if I had some like something shitty, for lack of a better term. Now maybe back of the legs. Again, if it's like a friend or something important, but it isn't that high quality, that would be more worth it because of the sentimental value behind it. But if it's just some fucking, because I know that's a style of tattoos now that pisses off a lot of old heads and more traditional tattooing people, where it's like purposefully very low budget, very bad, like scrawly single line doodles, and like people are pissed about it. People do not like it, but the people getting it are like, fuck it. And there's people that are making whole ass lives off of doing this shit, just being known as the dude that will give you purposely. But it's interesting though, because kind of like anti-comedy, the fact that it's done so poorly, or looks that it's done so poorly, they do it so well that it's like hard to like it's hard to explain, but basically the shittiness, the quality of the shittiness is what makes it so good, basically. Because it's not like the lines are blown out or whatever, but it genuinely just looks like someone was like doodling some bullshit. And people fuck with that, and people like that, and people want that meaning shit. I mean, fuck, people got YOLO tatted on them. Shout out all my fucking YOLO gamers out here that took the fucking knee and decided to get YOLO tatted on them in any form. That's crazy. I know for a fact, unless that shit was fake, I know for a fact I remember seeing a YOLO tat back in the day that was made out of dicks. So, shout out to that one guy. I know his name is either Chad or Derek, some variation of that, maybe Brock, some variation of that, and he has YOLO made out of dicks tatted somewhere. Shout out you, Chief. Shout out you. But yeah, no. I feel like we're at a good point for the tattooer. And it's getting hot. It's the middle of the year. Also timing as well. I'm like, yeah. I mean, it's the middle of the year. It's halfway through. It's June. So, like, not that I had really any intention of a start or stop point with this, but halfway through the year felt like a good point, you know? I didn't even know I was going to double up this year until late last year when I was getting tatted. And I was like, yeah, I mean, fucking January is going to be the 1 year of getting tatted. I was like, that's the tattooer, like every single month getting tatted. And then Sarah was like, well, what about, like, not necessarily like, why are you going to stop, or are you going to stop, or anything like that. But she just casually mentioned, he's like, oh, okay, well, not that you have to stop, but why would you stop? Or I can't remember what phrase she used, but I basically, horse with blinders, for whatever reason, I didn't think about doing it beyond this time. So I was like, oh, yeah, what is stopping me from getting more pieces this year? Still got the same job, still got the same. Oh, yeah, fuck it, let's run it up. So we did another 6 pieces this year. So some of these pieces this year, like I said, the dragon, fucking this guy, I think every piece this year was actually unintended, or like not planned long term, or like just the concept, and then the concept mixed with her idea is what it actually becomes, you know? Like I knew I never planned on getting something like this, but I loved how this came out, so I told her, fuck it, let's hit the other elbow. Because when I got this piece, I was telling her, like, oh, I'd love to do something around the elbow, because I was seeing at the time a lot of elbow-inspired pieces that people are doing. And she's like, yeah, we could probably squeeze something in there, because I didn't think we could, or I wasn't, you know. I'm not the artiste. I did not look at the canvas and say, oh, we could put something over there. So I was like, oh, if we could? Fuck yeah, let's run it up. And then more we talked about it, I was like, well, what if we did like a trippy design like this dude, but over here? And then, boom, this dude's born. So, yeah, I feel like we're at a good point. A lot of things are happening. Honestly, I can't wait to get a piece later this year. and just be that form of E. Because I don't know, I don't want to jinx myself, but I'm feeling good again. I was feeling good last year, then the winds got taken out of my sails with a whole bunch of bullshit, and then that took me out for a little bit. But I feel like I'm back on the rise, trying to make shit happen, grinding out, But yeah, this is the official end of we'll call it the 22 to 24 Tattour. Who knows where we're at in life? We might run up a bag and say fuck it and hit 2025. Who knows? We'll see. That'll be for a different point in time, E. That'll be for future E. Because yeah, right now I'm good. I'm feeling good. I'm happy with what I got. I'm feeling good. But yeah, so I got yadded on Friday. Then on Saturday, not yesterday, 2 days ago, went to the bowling alley. Ooh, crispy fuck. Cheers, everybody. Sipping on a nice little, I think I talked about it before, hard charged Voodoo Ranger tea. This little 12-ounce shitter, 7 fucking percent alcohol. AKA, this is damn near fucking 2 beers in the size of one. And it's tea. Bro, there's no carbonation, there's no burps. It's just fucking tea that just tastes like tea. This shit's crazy. Cheers. Yeah, one of the homies, it was his birthday earlier in the week. I'm in L-Man's. I think it was last weekend they went to celebrate it. I'm in L-Man's completely, just L-Man's. So then we ran it up this weekend. A couple days ago, we ran it up, went to the bowling alley, got absolutely fucking obliterated. It was honestly a really fun fucking time because they had $18.99 bowling, unlimited bowling from 9 to midnight. So we pulled up. It was a little after 9, I think, when we got there, like maybe 9:15 or something like that. I haven't even touched bowling in fucking centuries. I haven't even touched bowling in centuries. So it was crazy just to be back at a bowling alley. And this bowling alley that we went to was owned by a different company, and somebody bought it out and like made it more new and revamped. Oh, dude, oh my god, it was so fucking cringe. On the left wall of the lanes of the alley, the left wall, big ass letters, neon fluorescent lighting, OMG. The right wall, big neon letters, fluorescent lighting, LOL. Was this 2012? OMG, LOL on the wall. Come on, guy. Anyway, regardless, ran up some bowling. It's the first time I got to do an adult activity in a bowling alley. Because like I said, last time I went bowling was easily over a decade ago. Probably easily a decade plus, because 14-year-old E was not, 14-year-old E was not going bowling. It'd have to be closer, I'm old. It'd have to be closer like a decade and a half since I've been bowling. Dead ass. Probably closer like 15 years. Yeah, probably closer to like 15 years since E's touched a bowling ball. So we're there and we're getting fucking drunk. So initially we start off, we were doing pitchers the whole time. Start off with a pitcher of Blue Moon just for the fun of it. Holy fuck. Bowling taxes. I mean, somebody pointed out, and it makes sense, like, they don't want you to necessarily be drunk at a bowling alley or like obliterate a bowling alley because like there's kids and shit and it's like more whatever. But at the same time, they got a full service fucking bar. So the rules and the payment of everything was really custarly. Like, I walk up, I ask to get a pitcher. Like, all right, well, you'll need to have somebody else with you to get a full pitcher, or I could sell you a tiny single pitcher. And I was like, all right, I'll be right back. So I grabbed one of the homies, showed the ID. I'm like, all right, cool. Can I get a fucking pitcher, please? And then we get a pitcher of Blue Moon for the first one. The shit was 22 and some change. 22 and some change for a pitcher of Blue Moon. By the way, a pitcher of Blue Moon is 4 glasses, basically. Like 4, I don't know if it's a 16 ounce, but like, or 12 ounce, whatever standard like drinking glass that you would get from like a restaurant or whatever. It was one of those hoes. And that would, like, between the 4 of us, me and the 3 homies, that basically killed like the whole pitcher, maybe like a little bit left. So we smashed the fucking Smashed the Blue Moon one. Then we found out, well, they had Voodoo Ranger on tap, which I noticed. Voodoo Ranger already. Voodoo Ranger's fucking crazy. I think the one they had on tap was the 9% or the 9.5% beer. So they had a beer on tap that was 9.5%. Same company that does this tea, but what they first started doing, which was the beer, which is what I got them like, popping, people talking about it. Because like a 12-ounce beer that's 9.5% alcohol, fuck, that's crazy, right? So we crush the Blue Moon keg, or crush the Blue Moon pitcher, go back, run it up. We get a Voodoo pitcher, because fuck it. Found out it was only $4 more for the Voodoo pitcher, and the ABV between the two was basically double. So like the pitcher of Blue Moon is like what, maybe 4.5%. I think Blue Moon's like 4.5% alcohol. Fucking Voodoo Ranger is like 9.5% alcohol. So for only $4 more, we could get a pitcher that basically had double the amount of booze in it, or double the amount of booze in it. So that was fire. That was more what we like to smoke. So I think we did 2 pitchers of the Voodoo. We were getting pretty wacky, wet, and wild. We're getting pretty wacky, wet, and wild. And I believe it was, because I don't want to name any names just for the sake of people like, I don't want to be, but we'll just say one of the homies, I believe their girl had bought the food for us. So what I'm trying to get to is shout out who had bought the food without naming who bought the food. Shout out to you for getting the food, because they got pizza and some wings. So, or not wings, some like garlic fries. So by the time this shit was kicking, and he's a DGen too. So I woke up at like probably 8 or so p.m. Woke up at like maybe 8 or so, maybe a little bit earlier. Couldn't have been earlier than like 6 or 6:30, because I'm an asshole. But I knew I had the 2 days off, so I was like, all right, fuck it. Slept the whole day leading up to it. So then around 9, we got shit popping. So yeah, we're starting to drink maybe by like 9:30. So I haven't ate anything. I've been awake for like maybe two or so hours, right? I'm on an empty stomach, and we're just crushing pitchers. So by the time the food came and they had hooked it up with food, that pizza was honestly really fucking good. And I may or may not be a few points positive because of the drunkenness and ripping a little Benjamin. But that pizza was fucking good, bro. That pizza was good. So shout out y'all for getting the pizza, because y'all honestly clutched that shit up, because we went ham, bro. And then, oh my god, the other homie, I didn't even know these existed, but he got a fucking tower, which was just a fucking, what the name would have, it was just a canister full of beer. I forget what was even in it, and it had a little spigot, like a little spout, like a little lemonade thing, but it was full of fucking beer. And he had one of those, and one of those got brought over to the fucking table. So then we were fucking, these motherfuckers were getting, some of the homies were getting absolutely swashbuckling wasted. Buddies are up at the spout, pulling it straight from that into their mouths. Like, I feel bad for the people that had to clean it up, because we were making a mess. Not gonna lie, we were making a mess. But thank goodness we had the DDs that were there. Shout out the DDs to keep the 4 monkeys in the line, because holy fuck. Yeah, we were getting belligerent. So it was fun as fuck, though. It was honestly really, really, really fun. Then we went back to the homie's house, yapped a little bit, everyone was talking about like swords and guns, because the homie, him and his dad, his dad, homie B, like everybody's into this, like basically like, I don't know I know what it's called. I forget the acronym, but it's like European sword fighting. But it's like real, and it's based off of actual texts that motherfuckers in like the medieval times were writing about, like how to fight and shit. So they do that with like non-sharp weapons, and his dad, one of the homies, their dad, he's like a fucking goat, and was like a competent, like super cool dude. So we woke him up, poor dude, but we woke him up when we got home at like fucking, I don't even know how late, because I myself didn't get home till after 3 in the morning. But the bowling and everything closed around midnight. So yeah, we spent a few hours at homie's house just yapping. We played cards for a little bit. That was mad fun too. Yeah, it was great vibes. I think it was like 6 of us. Yeah, 6 of us deep. Played some bowling. Got wasted celebrating the homie's birthday. And we're going to run it up again this weekend. We're going to go to a pool hall, play some pool. yeah, so that's gonna be sick. That's what we're gonna do this Saturday. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I had a good weekend. Basically, this weekend is what backpacked the whole week because I didn't even write anything down because they're genuinely like nothing really was of interest leading up through the week, and I can't even remember up until Friday and Saturday if anything really not necessarily important, but we'll say noteworthy. I don't remember when anything noteworthy happened leading up to Friday and Saturday. Pretty sure I just worked, had a couple days off, slept the whole days I had off. The usual. But yeah, the weekend was fun, and I got tomorrow off as well. So that's when I'm gonna upload this. I had today and tomorrow off, so I'm gonna upload this tomorrow. A little bit behind schedule, but hey, we're still on time. We're still making it work. We're still getting it out there to people. Yeah, how long have I been yapping for? Ooh, good portion. Oh, I gotta call my sister too. That was the other thing. I gotta call me sister. Oh, perfect. 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 Yeah, it's been fun. The tattooer, it's been fun. Shout out Sarah. Bloodless tattoo. They're also looking for a new artist. That's the other thing too. It's been really cool watching just being on the other side of like the tattoo world and seeing like Sarah herself, because the first piece I got in April of 22, she was working at somebody's shop. Then by the time I linked up with her in October of 22, she was at her new shop, which is the shop that I got 90% of my pieces from. So 90% of my pieces came from her new shop that was downtown, and it was literally like a garage door, like pull down, pull up thing like this. It was very cozy. It was very cute, and the vibes of it was very awesome. Music was awesome. Great place. So I got tatted there. The first studio, 90% of my pieces we had done there. Then in March of this year, it was her first time doing a tattoo convention. So I don't know how that shit works, but I feel like not every Tom, Dick, and Harry can just be there or like do. I know you have to pay a thingy to do it, but like there's a lot, especially the convention I went to. There was like world renowned, like not this last year's convention. Yeah, last year's convention I didn't get a piece. My sister did. There was the season 7 winner of Ink Master, Anthony Michaels. He was fucking there tatting, and I got to kind of fangirling because like leading up to getting tattooed, and at that point in March of 23, I only had like a handful of tattoos. So just being there and being like a little buzzed because we're at a casino and like drinks were strong and cheap. My best friend, strong and cheap. So the liquor was little flowing a little bit, and dude's literally right there just doing his thing. And I didn't bother him, and it wasn't until like he walked away and everything I got to talk to him for like a couple seconds. But I was like, "You're sick. I love what you do, man. I've been following your shit for years." He's from here, born and raised from here. So I'm like, "Damn, bro, you make me proud to be from here. Like, you're awesome, bro. Keep up the good shit." So, not to say that I don't know what I'm trying to say. Basically, I thought it was really fucking cool that my tattoo artist was able and was in this year's convention, had a booth. Both of them, the studio, they had a booth. Shout out Katie too. She's the other half of Bloodless. Yeah, they both were there and tatting at the convention. And then now, right now, they just recently, as of like April, I think, yeah, like late April, early May, they moved in next doors, which was like a hairdresser boutique place. It's like 2.5 times the size of their current studio. It's like their current studio or their former studio was like this big. Their new studio is like this big. So it is dramatic. It's like like twice the size of the room I'm in right now. Like it's a fucking studio. Before it was like, I don't even know like the different degrees of studiosity. But before it was just this quaint little room, I guess you'd say, but now it's so big, in fact, that they're hiring and looking into getting a new artist in the shop. So now there's gonna be 3 tattoo artists, 3 tables. It's fucking sick. Honestly, I'm so proud of her because I was telling her this when I was getting tatted on Friday. Like I have the screenshot I have saved on my phone, and when people ask me like, oh, who's your tattoo artist? You know, I'll send them the picture, or if like I'm IRL with somebody and they're like, I love your work, and I have the time, like I'll be sweaty, I'll pull up a picture of her Instagram to show them, because the way she spells her name, it like it's pronounced Sarah, but it's not spelled like Sarah or anything like that. So I just show people her Instagram directly, just like, here's her IG. The picture I have on my phone of her IG, she's at like 12 or maybe 1,400 followers, something like that. And then I was tapped in on her post earlier in the week that she had made, and I clicked on her page again, and she's north of like 3,000, maybe 3.5 at this point. Let's see. Like, point being, in just this little amount of time, this past like year, 2 year and some change, year and a half, year and some whatever, like it's been really cool to see her also blow up, because I've been just, I don't even, honestly, I genuinely don't know how many people I've told about her in my own personal life, and I know a handful of people who have gotten work from her before. Granted, one of those people was the person that originally put me onto her to begin with. She found her, shout out her. She's the one that put me in contact with Sarah to begin with, or was rather, she put him on, then my sister got put onto her, and then my sister put me onto her, right? So we're third generation put on. But anyway, I've been proselytizing, just telling everybody the good word that is Sarah at Bloodless Tattoo, and it's just really cool to see her get her flowers and see how much, like, and also just even on myself, like just seeing how much she's evolved and her style. Like, it's been, dude, oh my god, holy fuck, no, that is too sweaty. Wait. Nah, now I gotta go in the archives. See, now motherfuckers got me in the archives. Let's see. Where was it? This one? Holy fuck. Okay. So the screenshot that I have is from November of 22. So the screenshot I have is of her Instagram in November of 22, 2,400 followers, right? Her IG right now is at 3,845. You deserve all that and even more, Sarah. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I'm so happy for you, dog. And I was telling her this. I was like, dude, I was on your page not too long ago, and I'm like, wait a minute. She's got, and now I'm like crunching the numbers, being sweaty, looking at the screenshot. Yeah, no. 2 years ago in November, she was at 2,400, and now she's at 3,800. Let's go, Sarah. Let's go. She's at tattoo conventions. She's going traveling. Like, this is what I was talking about when I started doing this in the first few episodes. This is the kind of shit that I was talking about. Like, I want to meet people, go out in the world, meet people, dope people like Sarah, and then all of us. A high tide lifts all boats, and all of us just fucking. So it's so cool, and like we are tapped in as friends now. But it's just cool to fucking meet people like this, and especially I told her as well, like, for my sake, especially, it was very important meeting someone like her, to be able to see somebody that can do what I'm trying to do, but knowing them and meeting them and talking to them, like, she's been really inspirational. Like, I've told her, like, you making a living and slaying off of being a creative person and making art, like, you give somebody like me who's trying to stumble his way and try and do this and is hating his life, working a fucking 9 to 5 job. You are an inspiration to somebody like me to get me going and doing my shit. Even outside of her saying and supporting me, like, come on, man, hop on the podcast, do this. How's this going? Besides her actively saying shit, her just being her, doing her shit, and me seeing her and watching all the growth she's had is so inspirational to me, to be like, all right, come on, E, let's tap the fuck in. Like, let's do this shit, bro. Like, look at these dope people making dope shit. You can do that too, bro. So that's also helped a lot with, not only do I feel awesome, more awesome, I guess, necessarily than before, because I love being tattooed, but yeah, just so much fucking inspiration to just go out and do shit. Because, I've asked her a million times, and we talked about even the most recent time, like, she was she was working regular jobs when she was 18, 19 and working at like a car wash place, and she fucking hated it and was really shitty and had a bad experience with it and management and whatever. And she's like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to go pivot into this. And she was telling me when I was getting tatted on Friday, she was going in depth more with it as we were recounting the story of like, man, how's this journey been? And she was saying like, you know, her boyfriend at the time and her family at the time, they were not supportive at all. They were telling her like, dude, stop trying to do this tattoo thing and just fucking literally get a job. Literally telling Sarah, stop being creative, stop being an artist, go get a fucking job, go make some money, go sell your soul to the corporate America. And she's like, yeah, I don't know about that one, Chief. And look at where the fuck I told her, I'm like, I'm proud of you for not listening to those people. I know it's hard because that's like friends, family. Fuck, that was your significant other at the time, you know, an intimate partner saying like, hey, don't do that shit. But fuck him. He might be clicked up with a woman in the future, right? I'm not very B2A on that, but Shoddy is not going to come in my life and be like, stop your podcast. Stop streaming. You're a loser. Nobody's watching you. Stop. I'll be like, that's not going to happen. Hey, shit's cooking, all right? I'm not, it's a long, I'm here for the long haul, baby. So I'm not going to listen to anybody chirping in my ear like, just give up, dog. Just quit. Why are you still doing this shit? Do something else. Like, if anything, it's like, no, fuck you. I'm going to do it even more. I'm going to stream for 15 hours then. Fuck you. So no, so somebody like Sarah, who it's not just the story of that happening to them, but then them doing it. And I was telling her as well, there's a shout out Bentley Blaze or STFU Matthew on YouTube. He did a way more manic route of what I'm currently doing, but I respect the fuck out of him for doing it because I don't have the dog in me to do it. But he's in a very similar position a couple years ago, dead end working at Walmart, minimum wage, hating his fucking life and being like, man, this is not the move. Like, I'm not here for this. This is not what we're going to do. And he did the